All right, next up I have a blush. This is Tarte. They have a lot of different ones. I love their blushes. They're not too dark. They blend really well. Once again, I'm super pale, so if it's really bright on me, I'm gonna look silly. So I do feel like I have to go a little heavier with it when I am darker. I have a nice fluffy brush, different from what I used for my bronzer, because I don't want those colors to get all mixed up on my face. It's gonna look funny. So this, you can see it's not red anymore. Now I have a little bit of that darker, just that faint shadow under my cheekbone. I didn't add much, y'all. It doesn't need much. So I'm just taking this, and this goes on the cheekbone itself right here, and I start about right here under the edge of my eye, and I go out. I am aware this is not what kids are doing these days. For whatever reason, they're putting blush on their noses. I haven't tried this. It sounds really weird. I'm sure I will just look like I have a sunburn. This is the old school way of doing blush. This is how we're still doing it for ballroom, as far as I know. Yeah, do what you will, but I don't put it on the apples of the cheeks. That's the old school way of doing it. This is a new old school way, but still old school. So I start it right here, and I just blend it out. Yeah, not too bad. And I didn't use a whole lot, but it does give me a little extra color, a little vividness, if you will. There are a couple different ways to do highlighter. You can either use a powder highlighter, which if I do powder, I use a brush like this for that. Or for ballroom stuff, I tend to want more highlight, and so I use, if I can find it, there it is, I use a liquid. This, once again, is Tarte. Can't be red because I've had it for so long that it's rubbed off the thing. I think it might say Pro Glow. They don't have a ton of highlighters, you'll figure it out. I just need a tiny little drop. Do you see how small that is? Okay, so a little goes a long way. So I have this drop, and I want the highlighter should go at the top of your cheekbone, and we want it to go around to outside of the eyebrows. So I'm gonna just take this and make some tiny little dots. You guys see that? Yeah, and then I'm just gonna tap these in because I want to get kind of like even coverage with this. So I'm tapping it so it doesn't all smear in one place, and then I rub it in. Make sure I don't get it too far to my forehead. So I want it to go more towards my hairline in a V here. And once again, my skin turns red, so that's all red now. It'll take a second to go back to looking normal. We're gonna do the other side. So I just got a tiny drop on the other side, and we are making our little half moon dots around, patting them into place so I get it even. Because I don't want all the highlighter at the top or all the highlighter at the bottom. You can also use highlighter in other places. Sometimes people use it in the center of their forehead, the tip of their nose. So essentially, you use bronzer to accent the shadows, and you use highlighters to accent the peaks of things. So I'm using it on what should be like bone area. Here's the thing though, I have a lifelong obsession with trying to not look super shiny. So if you add a highlighter to these areas, like I feel like there's already a tiny bit of shine on me right now. If I add to it, I don't need the extra shine. So that's not a thing that I do. Now, from here, all we have left to do are lips, eyelashes, and a clear face powder. So let's do that.